I stood in the foyer, the echo of Dad's words still thick in my ears. Your brother deserves it. The house, the accounts, the legacy, handed over like ceremonial tokens while I lingered in the shadows of their decisions. A month later, Mom's message arrived. Mortgage is due. I smiled. Calmly, slowly. I typed back, ask your heir. Then I closed my phone and watched the sunlight fracture across the marble floor, feeling the first stirrings of a plan no one could suspect. It started years ago, when we were children. He, my brother, was golden, flawless in their eyes. I was the quiet one, the shadow they thought harmless. I remembered our father lifting him onto his shoulders, laughing as though he held the future in his hands. I had stood behind the curtain, silent, observing. Love and resentment mingled in me, a quiet storm. For years, I trusted him. I trusted their judgment. I worked beside him, laughed with him, defended him. Then, subtle things shifted. A misdirected glance, a slight tightening around his mouth when I spoke about my ideas, a casual dismissal that left my voice echoing in empty rooms. I noticed, but I did not react. I was learning. The proof came unexpectedly. I found the documents in the study, hidden in plain sight. My name erased, my contributions glossed over. The company, the house, the inheritance, all rerouted. I felt a flicker of anger, sharp but contained. I did not confront. I did not cry. I planned. Every move had to be invisible, inevitable, indisputable. I began quietly. Financial oversight, small questions about accounts, subtle nudges to watch where he stumbled. Friends of the family, unaware, offered information freely. Legal advisors became discreet allies under the guise of routine consultations. I mapped every asset, every transaction, every liability. I discovered the cracks, and I exploited them silently. I tightened my grip on my emotions. Every conversation was a chess move. I smiled while he bragged to investors, while he flaunted wealth that was never fully his. I learned patience. I let him overextend, miscalculate, and assume invincibility, all while I accumulated leverage. Documents, signed contracts, letters, and small digital footprints that would prove decisive when the time came. The day I struck was calm. I did not announce my intentions. I let him approach the office, confident, arrogant, as always. I had already transferred key ownership stakes into a trust he could not touch. The house, technically his, was legally tied to obligations he had ignored. The cash he flaunted, frozen with subtle clauses and liabilities he had never read. He walked in expecting admiration. He left in disbelief. I watched every micro-expression, the twitch in his jaw, the widening of his eyes, the collapse of his posture. Shock, confusion, panic, in that order. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The papers spoke for themselves. Every signature, every clause, every technicality, they were mine now to command. Why? How? He whispered, voice cracking. I let a thin smile form. You forgot to read the fine print, I said softly, and I did. He looked around, searching for blame, for someone to accuse. There was no one, just me, always me. It was not about cruelty. It was precision. It was justice. The betrayal had been methodical, calculated. My revenge mirrored it. Deliberate, clean, unstoppable. Every step reflected control. Every outcome was inevitable. Later, when the dust settled, I walked through the house. The sunlight bounced off the walls, but it was different now. The emptiness he once dominated felt mine. I moved through rooms, touching the banister, the hardwood, the windowsill where I had once stood overlooked, underestimated. I was no longer the shadow. I was the architect. I was the one who understood the rules and broke them perfectly when the time came. I never gloatingly informed anyone. There was no need. The world saw the results and pieced together the story themselves. My brother, the favored, the chosen, the golden one, he had found out who truly took his place, and he knew. I finally exhaled, a slow, controlled release. Not vengeance, exactly, not malice, satisfaction, empowerment, the equilibrium restored. I had walked the line between justice and cruelty, but in the end, it had been justice. And in that quiet reflection, I understood something my father never did. Legacy isn't given, it's taken. And sometimes it's earned in silence, with patience and the perfect timing. I am here. He is not. And the world finally sees it, even if they don't name it.